I mean, people issues is a classic one. Most small businesses don't have an HR department. The boss is doing this stuff in between everything else that he's doing. And right now, that's a big issue. Recruitment for most of my clients for the last 2 or 3 years has been a massive problem. Getting people has been a huge problem. Unions are pushing for pay rises and stuff. I think that's going to change in the next year or two. But actually managing your people, that's the core of most businesses. So effective management, leadership, support, etc. We have many clients where that's done in a separate company because it's also where your biggest risk is. If you have a unfair dismissal claim or a racial sexual discrimination claim, some of which there's no ceiling to the limit, that's a big risk. Separate it.
Can I deep dive on that? Because that's a really interesting point. So what you're saying is having a separate organisation to house team members is actually a very good thing to do for the business, but also the team member. Because what you're doing is ultimately really protecting their roles, their jobs. Because in the past, if it's all in one place, just like the property, just like the assets, if it's in one place, it's all at risk. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, essentially. I mean, is it beneficial for the employees? It doesn't make a lot of difference where they're employed. The risk of their job being there or not there is the same. It's an economic reality. For the business, having the employment risk, and that is one of the biggest risks our clients carry, is people come to work and do silly things. They trip over a cable and they have a claim. They go off sick for months on end and you're still paying their wages. It's a complex area. When things are difficult and people get short-tempered and say silly things, the chances of a claim against you go up enormously. And over the years, for thousands of clients, a whole host of things that people have, as employees, put pressure on. The separate company gives the business protection because that company will cross-charge its time to the main business. So there's no tax dodge or anything else. It's a legitimate. We're putting people in a particular structure, charging the use of their time to the business. But that business makes no money or a very small amount of money. And every time it makes money, it shoves it up to the holding company where it's nice and safe.
Which is what you said earlier.
Absolutely. If you then get a claim against that company, you can say, there's no money to pay it.
Sure.
I haven't got any money to pay it. I've had a couple of construction clients that have been doing this for a long time. And he said probably every 3 to 6 months, somebody would come in, I fell over on the site. A lawyer tells me I've got a claim because you didn't put a sign up, and whatever it is, there's plenty of lawyers, no win, no fee lawyers out there. And his response now is, okay, here's a set of the accounts for the business that employs you. Send that to your lawyer and we'll see what happens. And 9 times out of 10, the lawyer says, I'm not taking this case on because even if I win, I don't get any money, So there is a safety issue for the business of putting people in a structure that's controllable. There is a side issue, which it actually makes it easier for you to manage. You treat them as an employment resource and you manage them better and you worry about their mental well-being and their support and their financial education and things. You treat it differently than when they're just on the payroll. But that's a sort of softer issue around the edges. The main thing from my point of view is as you move forward into a difficult economic period, that is one of the business risks you carry. You can put in a nice, neat package and manage it in there.